In the last video, we have discussed about the digestion in the stomach. Today, we shall discuss the digestion in a small intestine. How the small intestine takes place. Now, first, this is the stomach. After the digestion, the partially digested food comes to the small intestine. Now, the partially digested food from stomach comes to the small intestine, At the junction of the stomach and the small intestine, there is a valve called a sphincter, and so it is regulated by a sphincter muscle. So here is a muscle that is called a sphincter, which allows the food from stomach to intestine, but does not allow the reverse movement. Means the food cannot go to stomach from intestine, but it comes from stomach to intestine. Now about a small intestine. A small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal. That is the longest part of the alimentary canal. It is about 6.5 meter in length, that is in case of adult, and it is called a structure it is divided into three parts. First one, duodenum. Next one, jejunum, and third one, ileum. They are the three parts. That is the first part, this is the middle part, and this is the last part. Means it is the duodenum, from here to this one, the jejunum, and from this to last one, after large intestine, there is ileum. So it is divided into three parts, duodenum. One thing you know from the notebook, that in process, in small intestine is longer than carnivorous to digest cellulose, because in the plant cell the cellulose is found, so, and it is the hardest complex structure. So to digest this cellulose in the herbivores, the small intestine is too long. Now liver and pancreas. First one, these two are digestive glands. These are digestive glands. They secrete their product in the small intestine, which helpful in the process of digestion. First one about liver. It is the largest gland of the body. It synthesizes bile, which is stored in the gallbladder. So this is the liver. It synthesizes bile, and this is the gallbladder, and in that it is stored, and which opens in the duodenum, that is as parts of a small intestine. Second one, pancreas. It secretes pancreatic juice, which contain amylase for carbohydrate digestion. Trypsin for protein digestion, and lipase for fat or lipid digestion. So they contain these enzymes, and they are all then bile, juice, and pancreatic enzymes secretes in the small intestine, and thus we can say that in a small intestine is the site of complete digestion. In addition to this, the small intestines also secretes the enzymes like amylase, trypsin, and lipase. Secretes the enzymes to complete the digestion. So in the small intestine, these enzymes from pancreatic juice like amylase, trypsin, and lipase, they comes, and also the bile also entered in the small intestine. Now you see how the digestion takes place. Now the digestion in a small intestine. First one, partially digested food which is acidic in nature comes from stomach to a small intestine. It is regulated by sphincter muscles, which is found at the junction of the stomach and small intestine. The small intestine is divided into duodenum, middle one jejunum, and finally ileum. Now the bile, which is synthesized in liver and stored in gallbladder, comes to the duodenum, that is a first part of a small intestine. Next one, this gallbladder, so the bile acts on the big fat globules and split it. Bile acts on the big fat globules, means fat particles, and splits it into a smaller one for better enzymatic actions. For better enzymatic action, the small particles are good, and so the big fat particles change into a smaller one, and that is it called, it emulsifies the fat. Now the pancreatic juice, which also juice opens into the small intestine also, and it changes the acidic food into alkaline, because the acidic food cannot digest in the small intestine, so it is essential to change it into the alkaline, and for that the pancreatic juice is responsible, which is secreted from the pancreas, and it changes the acidic digested food, acidic partially digested food into alkaline. Okay. So the next enzymatic actions will take place on the alkaline food. Pancreatic juice, which is secreted from pancreas, and it opens in the small intestine, it contains the pancreatic juice contains the following enzymes and which helps in the digestion. These enzymes are amylase. It digests the carbohydrate into glucose. Amylase digests carbohydrates into glucose. Trypsin digests protein into amino acids. And lipase digests the fat or lipid into fatty acid plus glycerol. In this way, the carbohydrates and proteins and fat digested into these soluble compounds. These are insoluble, but when they change into when they digested, they become soluble because only the soluble food can be absorbed by the small intestine. And from the intestinal wall also secretes the intestinal juice, which also contain these amylase, trypsin and lipase, and they also help in the digestion. In this way, which help in digestion. In this way, complete digestion of foods take place in the small intestine. Now, after the complete digestion of food, the absorption takes place. Now, we will discuss on the absorption. The digested food is absorbed by the wall of a small intestine. By the wall of the small intestine, because in the inner wall of a small intestine, many finger-like projections are found, which is called villus plural villi. Means in that this finger-like projections are found. They are called villi, and in this the capillaries of blood are found. That will be clear to you in the figure next. They are called villi, and in this villi the food are absorbed. How this? So the villi increase the surface area for the absorption of digested foods. Means for the digested food is provides sufficient area for the absorptions. Second, villi contain the blood vessels. Villi contain the blood vessels which takes the absorbed food and carry it to each cell. Means this digested food is sent to each cell, and that is called assimilation. Means supply of absorbed food to each cell. Then the villi contain the blood vessels which takes the absorbed food and carry it to the each cell. That is called assimilation. The unabsorbed food then move to the large intestine. This is a small intestine, and from here the large intestine is start, and it is divided into, large intestine is divided into intestine, and large intestine is divided into three parts. One is cecum, colon, rectum. That is cecum. This is the cecum, and this is the colon that you see. The coelom is someone in ascending position, that is ascending colon. This one in transverse position, that is transverse colon, and this is in the downward, that is descending colon. So ascending colon, transverse colon, and descending colons, and finally it ends into the rectum. This is the rectum. So large intestine is divided into cecum, colon, and rectum, and in the large intestine the water and other materials absorbed, means, and finally undigested part undigested and unabsorbed part unabsorbed food collect in the rectum, that is, it is collected in the rectum, and finally excretion. this undigested part excreted out through the anus, and it is regulated by anal sphincter. So in this way the digestion in human beings take place.